Good day. My name is Mr. Allen, and we are going to continue atomic theory. Today is April the 6th, I believe. Yeah, April the 6th. So, go over what we did last week. We spoke about chemical elements, and I want to know what was an example. So, water. What would be the chemical element for water? Now, that would be H2O, which is also behind me, H2O, which means there are two hydrogen atoms and one oxygen atom. So that would also be known as a compound. Now, a compound, again, I'm going to have to do each word with the writing in the description in case you want to look at it. A compound is two or more atoms. A compound is where you have two or more atoms. So water would be an example of a compound, H2O. So you have hydrogen and oxygen, those are the two atoms. Carbon dioxide, when you breathe out, this is carbon dioxide. There's carbon and oxygen. Carbon dioxide would be another example of a, do I have it here? Yes. Another example of a compound. So a compound has two or more atoms. Another example of a compound would be baking soda, the big one I have here. Baking soda, so there's a lot going on here. There is Na, which is sodium, H, which is hydrogen, C, which is carbon, and O, which is oxygen. So all of these, when you combine them, you get baking soda. So a compound is two or more atoms. When you have just one atom, that's called an elementary substance. So an elementary substance is just one atom. So on IXL, it's going to say, is this an elementary substance or is this a compound? Compound, two or more. Elementary substance is just one atom. Think of an element. It's just one element or elementary substance. So an example of a elementary substance would be oxygen. It's just one atom. So oxygen would be an elementary substance. Calcium would be an example of an elementary substance. It's just one. And then helium or hydrogen or sodium. These are all one atoms. These are elementary substance. Now, I want you to really pay attention. If you notice, some of these have a small letter, and then some of them are just two big letters. Now, with elementary substances, it can have more than one letter. So, oxygen is an elementary substance that has one letter, but iron, Fe, even though this is just one atom, you see two letters. So if you were ever curious, I wonder if it's one element or two, the letter, any common letter, is just a continuation for that one atom. So if you ever see that small letter, that's letting you know that small letter is connected to the big letter. So if you see Fe, you know that that's just one atom, but the small letter is connected to the big one. If you see Ca, you know that small letter is connected to the big one. So even though there are two letters, it's still one atom. So calcium, Ca, you're going to see that small a, you're like, all right, even though it's small, even though it's two letters, it's still just one atom. Helium, He, even though it's two letters, it's just one atom because it's the small letter lets you know that it's a part of the big H. So H with a small e, that's helium. This is one atom. So let's look at this. There's a lot going on here, but if you notice, there's only one small letter. So we know that Na right here, this is going to be one atom. H, this is, all of the other letters are big. So this is one atom. This is one atom. This is one atom. So I don't want to write on it, but Na, this is one atom right here. The small letter is just a combine this. This is one. This is one. This is one. And this is one. So anytime you see that small letter, you just know that it's one atom, and it's just a continuation of that same atom. So Fe, which is iron, one atom. Calcium, Ca, just one atom. He, which is helium, one atom. All right, so I really need you guys to break that down. Anytime you see that small letter, you know that it's just connected to the big one, and it's just one atom. So I want us to want to know, we're going to need to know the difference between compounds, which are two or more atoms, and elemental substances, which is just one atom. So an example here, I have O2. So I have the one atom, which is oxygen. Even though there's more than one oxygen atom, it's still just one atom. So O, even see the two, that's just going to be an elementary substance, which is oxygen. Fe, again, even though it's two letters, that small letter lets you know that it's combined with the big letter. That's still one atom. H2O, we have two capital letters or big letters. So we know these are two different atoms. So this is going to be a compound. So Fe is an elementary substance because it's one atom. Oxygen, even though it's two, is only one type of atom that's here, one type. So that O is going to be elementary substance. H2O, H and O are two big letters, two different atoms. That's going to be a compound. CO2, capital C, capital O. We know that's two separate atoms. It's going to be a compound. Calcium, Ca, big letter or big letter, small letter. We know that it's going to be one elementary substance. And then helium, He, even though it's two letters, E is small, it's just going to be an elementary substance or one atom. So let's say we had this one, number one, CO2. What I want you to do is go between 1 and 10, and you're going to say, number one, is it an elementary substance or is it a compound? Elementary substance, meaning that it only has one atom, or a compound, meaning that it has more than one atom or two and more atoms. So you're going to go through each one. You're going to pause the video, of course, and you're going to go through. I really advise that you pause it, try, figure out what errors you make, because IXL science, this is really going to help you. So you're going to do the right thing and pause. I'm pretending you're pausing. And we're back. All right, number one. So you guys did the right thing. You went through all 10 and you wrote elementary substance or compound, and we're going to break down what each is, what they are. What each is, what they are. So number one, CO2. Now, would I be correct if I say that is a elementary substance? No, I would be incorrect. I would be incorrect because it has two capital letters. So we know this is one atom right here. This is another atom right here. So we have two or more atoms, which is the definition of a compound. So we know this is a compound. Number two, Fe. Would I be correct if I said that was a elementary substance? Yes, I would be correct. Oh, excuse me. I would be correct because it has a capital letter and a common or a small letter. So we know even though it's two, it's still just one atom, which is iron. Now, number three, Na. Would I be correct if I said that was a compound? No, I would be incorrect because even though it has two letters, it has a capital and a common. So Na is sodium, which is one elementary substance. Number four, H. Would I be correct if I said H was a compound? No, I would be wrong. It's just one atom, one elementary substance. H is for hydrogen. That's just an elementary substance, hydrogen. Number five, CO. Would I be correct if I said CO was a compound? Yes, I would be correct. Capital C, capital O. That is, two elements. Two elementary substances, or two atoms, which is the same as a compound. Number five is a compound. Number six, Br. Would I be correct to say that is an elementary substance? I would. That is one atom, bromine. So Br is bromine. You're not going to really need to know that, but for now. But yeah, Br is bromine. It's one elementary substance, also known as one atom. Number seven, H2o water. Would I be correct if I said water? H2O is a elementary substance. You already know this. No, I will be incorrect. One, it has hydrogen and oxygen atoms, 2 types of atoms. That is a compound. Number 8, Cu. Would I be correct if I said that is a compound? I would be incorrect. Cu is copper, and that is one elementary substance. 2 letters, one big, one small. We know that means it's one atom. Number 9, HC. HC, would that be an elementary compound? Wow, I apologize. Would that be an elementary substance or a compound? Number 9 would be a compound that is hydrogen and also copper? No, not copper. Carbon. Hydrogen and carbon. My mistake. Yeah, I don't have it on the board, do I? No, but we know it's carbon. C by itself is carbon, and H by itself is hydrogen. Number 10, last one, O2. Would I be correct if I said that is a elementary substance? Yes. Even though there are 2 oxygen, there's only 1 type of atom, so O2 is still a elementary substance. Awesome. So yeah, go over it again, replay the video, but this is going to help you with both lessons where you're defining if it is a elementary substance or a compound. What I also want to ask, let's say number 3, number 4, and number 5. If I were to say between number 3, number 4, and number 5, which one is the compound? 3, number 4, and number 5, which one is the compound? Pause it if you need some more time, but your answer should be number 5 because it has 2 or more atoms. So number 5, CO would be the compound. You're going to see questions like that where it has the name of them and the atoms. So really familiarize yourself. If it has a capital and a common letter, you know that it's one atom. If it has more than one atom, it is a compound. So if you see something like this, baking soda, we know that Na is one atom, but then hydrogen is an atom, carbon is an atom, oxygen is an atom. So this would be a compound. If you see something like Br, we know that this is an elementary substance because it has a capital and a common letter, meaning this is just one atom, even if it has 2 letters. I think I've beaten this topic pretty well. If you have any questions, feel free to rewind the video or have your parents reach out to me on Class Dojo. And yeah, thank you very much.